Okay, so this is going to be the meeting level stuff. We're not going to cover everything, but I'm going to cover a lot of it. Again, if you're really worried about what's going to be on the test, I would suggest you do the review that's posted on Pearson. That will have everything on it. You should get enough practice doing that. All right, so this one is an airplane is flying 10,500 feet above the level ground. The angle of depression from the plane to the base of the tree is 13 degrees. How far horizontally must the plane fly to be directly over the tree? Let's draw a picture. Okay, so this is meeting because we're not getting a picture, so let's see. I'm going to have, let's see, this is an airplane. There we go, airplane. And we're going to have a tree. Okay, there's my tree. And it says that the angle of depression, so if I were to draw, let's just pretend it's straight. And then I'm going to draw, let's see, from here, it says from the foot to there. This is the angle of depression, so if I'm right there, that would be 13 degrees. And then we are looking at how high, so if we're straight up and down, right there, or right here, we're looking for, I know that the airplane is this high if it goes directly, so 10,500, but if I was using this line, it would be also 10,500. And then if I'm looking for how far horizontally, I'm going to be looking for either this one or this one. So depending on how you do your triangle, doesn't actually matter as long as you have your angles in the right spot. So the angle of depression right here, because of alternate interior angles, I know that if this is 13 degrees, then this must be 13 degrees. And we can find that a couple different ways. One, we know that this is a right angle, so the only thing that's left would be 77 degrees. And so we would know that this is a right angle and this is a right angle. And if this is 13 degrees, then this would have to be 77 degrees. So there's a couple different ways we could have found that. I decided to use alternate interior angles. And I like this triangle, this one better, but it doesn't actually matter because it's the same triangle just flipped. So if I'm looking about how far horizontally, that means I'm looking for this distance, not diagonally, because I'm not asking how far would it be if the airplane crashed into the tree. I'm saying how far would the airplane have to travel horizontally to be directly above the tree. So what we're going to do is we have this 13-degree angle. We have the opposite side, so this is opposite. So if you're using this triangle, that would be opposite. But if you're using this triangle, guess what? Opposite. It's the same. And we are looking for the adjacent. So opposite and adjacent, that means I am going to be using tangent. So the tangent of 13 degrees is going to be equal to the opposite, so 10,500, over, I'm just going to use x for adjacent. Okay, so then we have to solve for x. So we're going to multiply by x, and we get x times the tangent of 13 is equal to 10,500. Again, I want that x by itself, and since I'm multiplying it by tangent of 13, I'm going to go ahead and divide it, so this turns into a 1. So tangent of 13. And I have a rough idea of what the number is, but I can't remember. So x is going to be equal to the 10,500 divided by the tangent of 13, which is going to be, so then x is going to be equal to 45,680. Wait, no, 45,480. It says 480.49. Now, if I were to round to the nearest whole, because everything is to a whole number on here, I would look here and look at the number to the right. The number to the right tells us what to do for right here. So then x would be equal to 45,480 because the 4 is less than 5. So we would say feet, because our unit of measure was feet. So that's how far the airplane would have to fly to be directly over the tree, 45,480 feet, rounded to the nearest whole. Okay, so here was an example of another meeting level question we did. So go ahead and hit pause and get this triangle drawn in your notes. Okay, so you've hit pause. So my triangle, I'm just going to draw it really quick. I've got, now this one was missed a lot. So it says angle C is the right angle. So if angle C is the right angle, then this is going to be side C because it's always opposite of the angle. I'm going to make this angle A, which is going to make this side length A. So this, what is left, is going to be angle B, and then this is going to be side length B. So remember, the side length that matches is the opposite of the angle. I do know side length A is 5, and side length B is 12. So I'm going to have to solve for the rest of this. Oh no, I have to solve for the outside. I don't need to solve for the angles, but I do need to solve for the outside. So C is going to be equal to 5 squared plus 12 squared, and that's going to be equal to 169, and the square root of 169 is 13. So 5 squared plus 12 squared, that would be 25 plus 144, which is equal to 169. Take the square root of both, and you get 13. The square root of 169 is 13. Now it's saying find the 6 trig functions from angle A. So I'm looking at this angle right here. That's the perspective. Sine of A, cosine of A, tangent of A, cosecant of A, secant of A, and then cotangent of A. You have to have those. If you just put sine, cosine, tangent, cosecant, I don't know what angle you looked at. I need you to tell me exactly what angle you're giving me the perspective of. So the sine of A is going to be the opposite over hypotenuse, which is 5 over 13. The reciprocal is the reciprocal, so it will be 13 over 5. You flip the fractions. Sine, stay with it. Cosine is adjacent, so that would be 12 over 13. So 12, adjacent over hypotenuse, hypotenuse over adjacent. Oops, I wrote adjacent. 12. Okay, tangent is opposite, 5 over adjacent, 12. And cotangent is adjacent, 12 over opposite, 5. Done. That is all I'm looking for with a question like that. Okay, this one, go ahead, and we are going to solve for everything. So I am solving for this angle, I'm solving for this angle, and we're going to solve for this side. So C is going to be equal to the square root of 12.5 squared plus, oops, that's supposed to be right here, plus 16.2 squared, and we're going to get a weird number because it's not going to work out that great. So we're going to get the square root of 12.5 squared plus 16.2 squared. Type that in our calculator, and we get C is equal to 20.461. We'll say 2 right there. So I'll just go 4 decimal places. Now I got to look at my problem. This is to the first decimal place. This is to the first decimal place. So I'm going to round to the first decimal place. So the number to the right tells you what to do here. So C is going to be equal to 20.5. Now, to solve for the rest of the angles, I'm going to use what's given. I'm going to solve for angle A. So angle A is going to be equal to, so I know that if I used a trig function, I have the adjacent and the opposite side. So if I have adjacent and opposite, that means tangent. So the tangent of A is going to be the opposite, 12.5 over 16.2. Now we have to remember, I'm looking for an angle and I have sine length, so I'm going to use the inverse. So A is going to be equal to the inverse of tangent of 12.5 over 16.2. We type that in our calculator, second tangent, 12.5 divided by 16.2. I just erased it. Inverse tangent, 12.5. And we get A is going to be equal to 37.654. Now, again, it's only to the first decimal place. This is going to be, this number here is going to tell me what to do with that. So I am going to get 37.7 degrees. This is a degree. Degrees. Okay, now I need to find angle B. So I know that I have now, this is the opposite of B, and this is adjacent to B. So tangent of B is going to be equal to 16.2 over 12.5, which means angle B is going to be equal to the inverse of tangent of 16.2 over 12.5. Okay, and then we type that in our calculator, and we should get 57 point something. Let's see, I don't know, actually 52 point. So 16.2 divided by 12.5. 52 point. So B is going to be equal to 52.346. Again, this number tells me what to do with this number, and since it's a 4, we're going to have 52.3 degrees. Okay? And that is it. So go ahead and make sure you get that in your notes. And then our last question, I'm going to go through it kind of quickly. This is an example of an advanced level question. Again, just as a quick reminder, advanced will not have a picture. We made that mistake on the last test, and we won't do that again. So the angle of depression from the top of the 801 Grand building in Des Moines to where you are standing on the ground is 37 degrees. You are standing 279 meters from the table or from the building, and your friend is actually standing further away at an angle of depression from the top of 801 Grand to your friend. And the angle of depression, sorry, I wrote this in first period as kids were walking in, so it's kind of worded weird. Anyway, the angle of depression from your friend to the top of 801 Grand is 29 degrees. How far are you from your friend if 801 Grand is 192 meters high? We need to draw a picture. So go ahead and hit pause and try to do this. That would be great. Okay, let's come back. So here is my picture. I drew that. That's 801 Grand. I drew that all by myself. I'm so good. And there I am. I'm standing there, and the building is 192 meters high. Let's see. And we've got my friend who's further away, and that angle right there. So there's my second triangle, and then I have my angles of depression. Now, if you do the triangles upside down, because you could have said that the angle of depression, so for your friend, would be right here. And then so it'd be here, and the whole thing, and then part of it. So that's how we get 37 and 29. We are going to, I just decided it looked better this way, so I solved it this way. So we are going to solve for the rest of it. I need to find the whole length of this to figure out how far away my friend is. So I have this angle, or I have this angle right here, and I have the opposite side, and I'm looking for the rest of the adjacent. So I am going to use the tangent. So the tangent of 29 is going to be equal to the opposite, 192, over the adjacent, which I don't know what the whole thing is, so I'm just going to put x. And so then I know that x is going to be equal to the tangent of 29 under 192. So I wrote that kind of weird. But 192 divided by tangent of 29. So I'm going to turn that on. I'm going to get 192 divided by the tangent of 29. And I get 346.3. So that tells me everything's rounded to the nearest whole. So this whole thing from here all the way, oh, my picture's in the way. You can go up there. From here all the way to here, actually from here to here because it's from the building, this is going to be 346 meters. 346 meters. That's the whole thing. And if I'm only looking for this distance, then I can do 346 minus 279, and I get 67 meters. So my friend is 67 meters away from me. Okay, that is it. That is advanced. I hope you have a great day. My video is going to end. If you have any questions, please come to class. I will be here early Monday morning, so 8 o'clock. Have a great day. Have a good weekend.